What is up, my friends, and welcome to the UFL Week in Review, one of the longest-running UFL podcasts in human history. This is show number 49 for UFL Week 9. This week, we're breaking down the league's highest-rated game of 2025, which I was at, ABC's controversial bump of the UFL action for NBA. I was there for that. Playoff TV announcements, and plus our DC Defenders vlog, and all your Week 8 news. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Leave us a review on Apple, Spotify, podcasts, and let's get started.
I know it's been a bumpy ride for you guys. You got a lot of injuries early in the season. What we talk about at the league is incremental growth. You know, trying to get a little bit better every season, trying to give you guys what you need every season, grow a little bit more. And what I've seen with Mike Nolan and Steve Kaiser over the last 3 seasons is a great example of that incremental growth. You guys get better each season. So this is one of the best Michigan teams we have seen in spring football, and we would like to present this to Coach Mike Nolan.
Hold on. And the winner is... 3 in a row. Hold on, here we go. Says Coach Nolan, says the Michigan Panthers have officially clinched a berth in the 2025 USFL Conference Championship. Congratulations, Daryl Johnson, Executive Board.
Dramatic finish of the UFL DC Defenders Arlington Renegades game was bumped from ABC for NBA pregame coverage. Yes. So the DC Defenders secured a playoff berth Sunday with a thrilling 33-30 victory over the Arlington Renegades. But many viewers, not me because I was at the game, missed the game-ending deciding play when ABC shifted the broadcast to ESPN2 with just a minute 55 remaining on the clock. Play-by-play announcer Joe Trestor informed the viewers of the switch, saying, quote, that led to ESPN having its own programming shift, bumping softball whip-around show 7 innings live on ESPN Plus to make way for the UFL game, Trestor explained. Because what was going on? NBA Western Conference semifinals between the Denver Nuggets and Oklahoma City Thunder. But it was the pregame show, not the actual game. And so I actually had friends that were at the game that went to the bar after, which, you know, I always have to stay to the end of the game because you never know. So they were there and they never got to see the finish. And got to the bar. We're like, hey, at Solace Outpost. And then we were like, hey, did you see that ending? And they were like, what? What ending? We didn't see it. It wasn't on the TV. What do you mean it wasn't on the TV? And this was why. They moved it. People, reminding it of the Heidi game or whatever. If you haven't seen the ending, here it is. So it's unfortunate that happened, but the ratings for that game was the highest that the league had so far this season. ABC seems to be the spot to watch UFL games. I think they should do a Monday Night Football on ABC. Would be fantastic next year. Just throwing it out there, guys. What else are you going to put on? And, because this is your league-ish, sort of. So, yeah. Unfortunate situation, but we did get the number of, people got to watch the game and it was exciting. These are the kind of things that we need for the UFL to succeed, but it's just an unfortunate that the game went a little long and they had to bump it. I mean, why can't you just kind of have it in the corner or something as the game is going on? Would have been okay. And then maybe, split screened it back up, like if it was something exciting. I mean, come on, guys. But yeah, it went from ABC to ESPN2, and like I had said earlier, so the next day I was super excited to see it, the highlights of the UFL on ESPN, and I did see highlights for women's softball, but not the UFL on ESPN and on ABC, which was the highest rated game that they had. So yeah, ESPN, I'm not a big fan of you guys, of how you cover the UFL. We've talked about that multiple times. I get it, but I don't get it. There's a way to work around it. So there you have it, folks. But that's what happened. If you were watching the game or wondering what happened, that was it. Mike Mitchell has the Week 8 TV ratings, and they delivered the week's highest viewer game. So on ESPN, they put this out. The most watched game of the season is the Renegades DC Defenders on ABC. Peaked at 1.3 million viewers, which was before the basketball game, which was great. Second half average 1.2 million from 2 to 3:10. And the full game average was 973,000 during ABC window from 12 to 3:10. So that was fantastic. So Mike Mitchell has it all, the breakdown here. First up, Friday's game, Friday night's overtime shootout on Fox, which had the Memphis Showboat outlasted the San Antonio Brahmas, averaged 573,000 viewers, up from last week's Fox game, which averaged 540,000. The Brahmas Showboat OT Thriller peaked at 688,000 viewers for the game's conclusion from 11 to 11:15. This is a reversal in an ongoing trend on Fox Fridays, where UFL games have peaked in the first quarter of the telecast. This is the first and only time this season Fox presented a split regional broadcast for 2 UFL games simultaneously at 1 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. The time slot with the St. Louis Battlehawks, Birmingham Stallions, and Michigan Panthers, Houston Roughneck games averaged 591,000 viewers. Sunday's 18th ABC UFL broadcast at noon featuring the DC Defenders, we went over that, peaked at 1.3 million, which is fantastic. Again, and dramatically, which we know with the switching of the pregame coverage. So there you have Mike Mitchell breaking down the schedule and what happened with the ratings. So ESPN put out a press release, which was great. They also put out a second one saying viewership, the most viewership records, multi-year highs on TV's most watched events. ESPN's multi-part sport portfolio shined May 16th to 18th. Friday's game between the New York Knicks and the Boston Celtics, TV's most watched program of the day. ESPN's Nets most watched WNBA game ever. That was on Saturday. NHL's most watched second round game this playoff, all networks. And then the DC Defenders game was on that. And then most programming, the TV's most watched sports program of the weekend was Oklahoma City game, and then the Mets Yankees most watched game in 7 years on Sunday Night Baseball. So congratulations to ESPN. Now cover my league better. If I'm going to be the future owner of the DC Defenders, I need you guys to step it up, and that will be one of my main pet peeves with you guys as we discuss things. But yes, I've decided that I will become the owner of the DC Defenders. So, and I will be talking about that all the time. I don't have any money, but I will do it someday. When it's time. I have till 2028 to get enough money together to do that, so I have to start saving. The Week 8 attendance figure, San Antonio, 9,244. I think San Antonio is fine. Houston, we have a problem. 4,007. Is Houston on the chopping block? St. Louis brought it 30,114. DC Defenders, best crowd so far, 14,638. So they average 14,500. I mean, to me, chopping block, if I, when I become the DC Defenders owner, if I was the DC Defenders owner right now, I would be like, Houston, what's the problem? I would get like AJ Smith to be the head coach as my take, and let him be the Houston head coach, a nice, exciting offense, and see how things turn around next year. I mean, it is a good market. There's no question about it. San Antonio is fine. It's just, I think Birmingham, Memphis, we've talked about that over and over again. But I would say Houston, Memphis, and Birmingham are I would put them on the chopping blocks. Bro, we need to run our league. And you're the weakest link. Goodbye. So let us know what you think about the ratings and attendance for this week's in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Welcome to PulseAI Solutions, where we empower small to medium-sized businesses with cutting-edge AI technology. At PulseAI Solutions, we specialize in AI consulting, providing expert advice to help you integrate AI into your business operations effectively. Our custom AI solutions are tailored to meet your unique needs, ensuring you get the most out of AI technology. We offer comprehensive digital management packages, including website management, hosting, video editing, digital marketing, advertising, content creation, and search engine optimization. Our tech innovation services keep your business ahead of the curve with the latest advancements in AI and technology. From AI product management to enhancing your digital presence, we provide end-to-end support for all your AI needs. Join the revolution with PulseAI Solutions and transform your business operations today. Visit us at PulseAISolutions.com to learn more about our services and how we can help your business thrive. Contact us today for a free business assessment.
All right, we are back. We've got phone calls. We also have the blog. We'll do that at the end of the program if you want to check that out, of our behind the scenes thing there. But first, in a first ever for UFL News Hub, you guys will get at it first. We are having a UFL Championship Pool for charity. That's right. So you can buy $25 per square, different numbers for each square. There are 100 squares, so it's a 100 square block pool for the UFL Championship game on June 14th. So $25 a square. If you win the first quarter, basically it's a big block with all the numbers, and then based on the score, how you get, so if you get that number, then that's what you get. If you don't know it, look it up. $250 for the first quarter win, $250 for halftime. Third quarter, you get $250. And the final score, if you get the final score right, $750. And you can win multiple times. It's $25 a square. There is 100 squares left. Now, you're like, well, what is this? So the prize pool is $1,500. Of course, this is the United Football League. I'll put all this stuff down. If you're interested, this is benefits a family friend, Nancy. She's an ovarian cancer survivor, and she's kind of set this up. She does it for the Super Bowl every year. And she was like, I was thinking about doing it for the UFL. I'm like, I will help you. And I need you jabronis that could support this show to help her raise some money. So it's $25 a square. We need to sell some squares. Email me, podcast@uflnewshub.com, and just put in the subject line pool. And I know what you're talking about. We'll get you synced up. You can pay Venmo, PayPal. I didn't want to put all this stuff online to get confused of who's who. So email me, and then we'll go through that. So portions of the proceeds will benefit the National Ovarian Cancer Coalition. They are a real organization. She does work with them and raises money for them. We've been involved with some of her things. We all know cancer with my wife and her multiple myeloma, but this is a great cause. So I figured, well, let's just try it out. So email me, podcast@UFL News Hub, if you want to be part. It's $25 per square. We need to sell 100 squares, and we're already in the works of, I think we're doing pretty good. I won't announce what is left, but they are squares sold. So, and a lot of people wait till the last minute. So don't be a jabroni and email me, podcast@UFL News Hub with the subject pool, and we'll get you synced up, whether you pay via Venmo or PayPal, and we'll get you synced up. And you can win $250. Remember, the first quarter, $250 at halftime. Third quarter, $250. And if you get the final score, $750. $1,500 is on the line. So this is something to do a pool while you're watching the UFL Championship game. We will be in Florida while we're watching that. So I just wanted to point that out. We'll be plugging that all the way up until the championship game. Speaking of which, UFL unveils the network coverage for the conference championship games. We knew this was coming. So the UFL Championship game will be televised on ABC, featuring a matchup between the Michigan Panthers and defending UFL champions Birmingham Stallions. I think the Panthers will win that one. That's at Birmingham Protective Stadium. Kickoff is 3 p.m. The XFL Conference Championship will be presented by Fox when the DC Defenders face the St. Louis Battlehawks at St. Louis the Dome. My wife and I thought about going there, but I think we're going to try to do some kind of thing here in Maryland. Kickoff is scheduled for 6 p.m. I'm thinking of finding a bar. So if you know of anybody, or if you work at a bar and you would love to have a live show of us coming out there, I'm leaving it out for you there. But I'm going to start that process next week of trying to maybe line something up. I needed to see if we were at the 3 o'clock or the 6 o'clock game. I also have a real full-time job, folks. And I do this plus other stuff. Like my wife is like, you're just too busy. But I'm planning on doing some kind of watch party. I know the Defenders will probably do a watch party. But the thing is I don't want to drive to D.C. And I would like to do something local. So somewhere in the vicinity that I'm at. But if you're in the Maryland, D.C. area and you want a pre-show, so basically, since it's the 6 o'clock game, my idea was to do a pre-show at like 2 o'clock at whatever bar that we're at. We do a pre-show. We'll give away prizes. We'll have a good old time. And then we will, and then I will get you lead into the championship game. So then you'd watch us on YouTube. Then we would get the USFL Championship game. Then we would go right into the DC Defenders game against the St. Louis Battlehawks. We will come on at halftime live, so both of them will be live on YouTube. And then we'll come on at halftime of the XFL Conference Championship game to talk about that as well. And then, I mean, if it's exciting, maybe we come on at the end of the game. I don't know, depending on what the bar situation is. And then that's kind of how we'll do it. And then so we would do it live from a establishment, hopefully with other DC Defenders fans. So if you are somebody that's connected with a bar, would you like for UFL News Hub, Mr. Mark, to come out? Maybe I don't know if I could get Mike Mitchell to come out. He lives far away. But somebody, maybe we can get some people to come out or even just appear on the show, pre-game stuff. So I think it would be a lot of fun. And that's how you just spread the word. I think I could get more. My wife and I were talking about it, and there's more of an impact of us staying in Maryland and inviting friends to come watch the DC Defenders championship game rather than us going to St. Louis and forking out $2,000 for the whole trip. Plus we're going to Florida the next week, and this site, like I've told you multiple times, it makes no money, hardly any money now. No money last year, zero money last year. This year it makes a little bit, but that goes to my great team of writers. So, so there's no money for me to like really spend on this kind of stuff. So it would be more of an impact about staying home and doing it here. So that's what I think the plan is. So if you know of an establishment that you would like for us to come to, then we would do that. And then, but yeah, that's the plan at this point. The UFL also announces its Players of the Week. The Pizza Hut Offensive Player of the Week was Jacob Sailors, running back St. Louis Battlehawks. I love this stuff where they do, and then they bring a pizza for the team. Fantastic, guys. Do it. I love it. Travis Feeney, St. Louis Battlehawk, Hall of Famer. I mean, we've been doing this enough that we could probably have the, people talk about Hall of Fame, or he would definitely be up there. And Special Teams Player of the Week, Samson Nakua of the Michigan Panthers as well. So congratulations to those guys in there. Very gluten-y Pizza Hut pizza. I don't think Pizza Hut. Hey, if Pizza Hut wants to help us out on this, where we're at, whatever bar we decide to go to and give away some Pizza Hut stuff, just let me know, man. I'm your marketing arm, UFL. I am helping you market the league. UFL News Hub Player of the Week, Jordan Tamu, MVP. Come on, MVP. That's all I have to say about that. Other honorable mentions: Memphis Showboats defensive tackle Josiah Bronson and linebacker Andrew Dowell. Darren Horton dialing in that team up. I mean, I was hopeful for the Memphis Showboats going into that, but for the season, but everything kind of just fell apart. We'll see where they go. Also, the UFL to conduct youth football clinics in 8 markets. So if you've got kids in any of those markets, we have that up on the UFL News Hub website. So Missouri Baptist University. This, again, fantastic. Love it, guys. June 10th, all through the beginning after the season. In June, they have all sorts of different events where, coaches will be there. They'll have clinics. Perfect. Love it. That's the way to kind of get things going with the UFL. So did you hear about this? Caleb Williams and his father explored avenues to avoiding him being drafted by the Bears in 2024, the NFL draft. Among these options, signing with the UFL in hopes of tanking his draft stock with the possibility of playing there in 2024, then signing in the NFL as a free agent. This isn't the first time we've heard this thing, most notably Archie Manning helping his son Eli avoid playing with the Chargers by forcing a trade to the Jets. So it's just something to keep in mind of, and we have 2 articles out there, Jonathan Clink and then Matt Nagashima coming back from retirement or hiatus. He wanted to write something, so he's got a whole thing about, Jim Kelly and John Elway and all these other players that have kind of done that. So that was an interesting news story this week about Caleb Williams. All right, on to DFS before we get to your phone calls. So this is tough. I mean, you're going to have to go with Jordan Ta'amu. He's the MVP because these other guys, I mean, Max Duggan is not doing it for me. Bryce Perkins, supposedly he's going to be sit. He screwed me last week because he didn't play at all. So Danny Outling might be the guy. How did he do last week? His game log, 21 points, 3 touchdowns. I mean, he played well, so he's supposed to play this week. You can go with him in a game that, well, it's Michigan, Birmingham. I mean, you could go with him. Luis Perez against Memphis. You know, they're going to come out with a revenge game. I mean, he, of course, he made that mistake at the end, but he's been pretty consistent over the 20. So we'll go with Luis Perez to make him happy. In a game that means nothing for those two teams, the UFL needs to do something to kind of give some juice to these last 2 weeks. It's just the nature of the beast. There's nothing they can do about it. The schedule makers or whatever you can complain about. Parity, blah, blah, blah. It's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. So it's just, there's nothing they can do about it. So, to give some kind of juice for these last couple games would be great. Running back, I haven't really seen anybody that really, Hunter had 10. He's had a lot of attempts. D.D. Hunter. We'll go with him. So we'll go with a couple guys from the Arlington team. Wide receiver, Chris Rowland. Love him. He's one of our guys. Vaughns has played well. I will go with a Mariner. Well, let's see. Let's go defense. We'll go with the Battlehawks. They've been balling. They're trying to, keep things going. So I have 5,700. I think Hakeem Butler has really I'd stay away from the wide receivers. I mean, he had 5 targets, just nothing there. So I'm staying away from him. John Trey Kirkland has been a disappointment. And I think Kellen Mond is coming back in, which doesn't help anything. So there's that. Memphis David Davis. I see he didn't get anything. It's so tough to pick some of these guys. Let's go down the list a little bit. Let's see. Nakua, 2 targets. Not enough for me. I need Lassiter. I had him in the game. He had 3 targets. But he's consistently with the targets 663. Memphis Showboats. We'll throw him in the mix. And then a 6,000. Like Ja'Cour Pearson, Davis from Birmingham. He had 4 targets, 4 and 6, but just nothing, no juice there. And that's really all I can pick. Let's go with Nakua for fun. Let's put it in there. Anyway, on to the betting stuff of the UFL. Odds this week, -6 with Battlehawks San Antonio Brahmas. The over is 42. The defenders, I mean, everybody's now look at these over numbers. They're so much bigger. Memphis Showboats, Arlington. I'm going to go with the under on that one. I think the Battlehawks will win. And for the spread, I'll take the Michigan Panthers. I think the Michigan Panthers are a lot better than the Birmingham Stallions. So that's your Fin pick of the week. Michigan Panthers with the plus 5.5. The under of the Arlington Renegades, and then the money line of the St. Louis Battlehawks. That $1 will get you $4. That's fun. And then just my straight picks for the week. I think the St. Louis Battlehawks, Renegades. I think that because the Renegades play good, just they can't close. They need some kind of closer for that. Michigan Panthers, I think, will beat the Stallions, and Defenders will beat Houston. Though I could see like the Defenders messing that up. $1 bet there gets you $6.17. And there you have it. Those are the bets for this week. Let's go to our vlog. Oh, first let's go to our phone call, and then we will go to our vlog.
My name's Jim, and I was calling on this relocation of franchises and stuff. The thing that gets me is the TV stations, they own the league. So they own the teams, and they just randomly, whatever they were, XFL, USFL, AF, they just randomly picked these cities. There hasn't been any private ownership. You know that, and I don't know if there ever will be. I think the TV stations want to get all the money off of that, but they need to start that season earlier, like the XFL did or the AAF did. You know, now we're playing at the end of the year, hotter than crap down south in those cities. But I don't understand the attendance woes of the entire league. It must be just horrible, you know, promotion of the league within those cities. I'm familiar with the old UFL from 09 through 12 here in Omaha. Omaha would have outlasted the league. If they had a league like what was going on now, that team would probably still be in that league. There's got to be some stability, but I don't know if those TV markets, no one, even your guys' websites, there's nothing on the standings. There's nothing on team statistics. I got to look up some.
All right, appreciate the phone call. A couple things there. First of all, I don't know what site you're looking at because our site has the standings and we've got statistics, all sorts of stuff, rosters, all that stuff up to date. However, I do have a plan of upgrading that in the off season. I'm super excited about it. You guys are going to love it. What's coming in the off season, and I'll be working on it during the CFL season to get that in place. So I'm super excited about it, and I will be teasing that maybe later on, but I don't want to talk about it right now. It's cool. All data driven. Very cool. Cities randomly picked. No, that is incorrect. The cities were not randomly picked. That was lots of money and lots of consultants, I'm sure, to come up with that number. They didn't just randomly pick any of the cities. That goes for the XFL, AAF, all of these places. I mean, it's not just like, oh, let's just play here and that's it. I mean, you need to pick the place, you need venues, taxes. I mean, it's not an easy thing to do. Ownership, we've talked about that. 2028 seems to be when people would start buying these franchises. So that's when that is going to happen, including yours truly, buying the DC Defenders in 2028. That is the goal. And cities, yeah. So I mean, I think one of the problems, and I've talked about this before, is they probably should have just kept the XFL name, to be honest with you, because it just creating another league name, and we've gone over that in the show. But yeah, so, and then play earlier in the winter. I agree. I think that I really thought, I mean, hey, I'm okay. We can admit when we're wrong. I really thought that there would be a lot more people in the springtime because it was nicer out, but I think it's better to maybe do it in February when there's not as many people, when there's not as many things to do, there's not as much sports going on. You basically have the run from the beginning of February into March. You've got March Madness. You can play around with it. You could do Friday night game. You could, your ratings weren't that great to begin with. You know what I mean? You're not losing out on a million, viewership kind of thing. And you could potentially, really it's just the first 2 weeks. You could kind of work around March Madness, throw a couple Monday night football games on, and to kind of juice things up, to get that, there's lead-ins, you know what I mean? Like that. All right, I understand that. You got to deal with March. But just look at how things turned out now. You have to deal with the NBA playoffs. You have to deal with, and not everybody watches March Madness, but people will watch the NBA playoffs. They'll watch, the NHL playoffs. Then there's Major League Baseball. Maybe that's why the numbers were better. Now, because it's too hot. That would never stop me from going to a game. Nothing will stop me. You think about people that go to NFL games. It's freezing cold. Hello, Green Bay. So, but yeah, they could get creative with these markets. We know that they put out RFPs and people did respond. I think it was over I would say around 30 I've heard. About locations and that's why I think they let out the UFL season tickets to see what the juice is behind those season tickets and if there's interest or not, and then that could be a sign of like, hey, we're giving them a last shot to try to drew up some support for these season tickets, and if it doesn't happen, then we're moving on from those locations. So the off season, this thing is going to be interesting. But the thing that I had said that the league needed to happen, and we could look back on this, and somebody pointed out, there's two things that somebody pointed out on social media recently, and I think it was in the comments of Spotify. Remember, like and subscribe to Spotify, leave us a review. We'll read it on the show. We appreciate if you leave us reviews. We'll start doing that. But he's like, hey, the NFL didn't start off huge either. And that is a good point, to be patient, and we need to be patient. I've always said all along, I just want to make sure that Fox and Redbird Capital is in. And I did say something online, and I've said this before, and somebody called me out on it. And they were like, well, actually, the ESPN does not own the league. And that is somewhat correct. But they do, that is correct, I believe. I don't know if they have an ownership stake, though. I have heard things have changed. I've heard that the Danny Garcia stake is not very high in this league, if any. Barely anything is what I've heard. It's mostly Fox, Redbird Capital, but I've heard ESPN, and ESPN does have a seat on the board of directors of the UFL. So when I say that, this is your league and you own it partly, do I know for a fact that ESPN or Disney owns part of the league? That I don't know. I do know for a fact that there is somebody on the board of directors from ESPN, and that it's basically the three of them. It's not like ESPN is paying the UFL to have games played on their network. That is not the case. They have a board of directors, and there is somebody from ESPN on it. I believe there's two people. There's one from Fox. Danny Garcia might be on there. Maybe The Rock. But I've heard that he's not really involved in anything when it comes to the league. Clearly, I mean, he's not bringing any juice to the league. He can post about it, but it doesn't change anything. So yeah, that was something that was pointed out to me. But I just want to clarify that. But yeah, we do need to be patient, and that's the thing. It's like 1 week I don't know. We'll see. It just depends. I'm all in. I just need to know Redbird Capital and, Fox. They need to reach out to me personally. And they say, Mark, I know that you're interested in buying the DC. By the way, I'm joking about all of this, so don't take it seriously. I know you're interested in buying the DC Defenders, but we want you to know that we are in. We are in for the long haul. We'll be here in 2028 to take your money so that you can purchase the DC Defenders. And I'll be like, okay, cool. As long as we're good with that. And and the deposit, I can give you $5 right now from revenue from the site to maybe I can use my gambling money on here to finance the league, to finance my purchase of the DC Defenders. I've heard numbers like the St. Louis Battlehawks was up there in like the 50 to like 100 million, I think it was something, and like 30 million for like some of the other franchises or something like that. Because remember, they're only playing 10 games. I would just I would love to know more. Like, okay, like, is this good for you guys? We're going to continue. Cool. Are you going to add teams this year? No, but we're going to move 2 around. Cool. I understand that, but like where their long-term vision is, and it seems. I mean, they're moving forward, and next year is next year. I don't see them. I'd be stunned if they were going to pull the plug, but I think that's part of the hamstring of the fans is that like we want to be all in. We want to know that you're going to be here for 10 years, and but it's just kind of when you see like numbers and stuff like that, you get concerned, and that's why there's so much interest in the TV ratings and the attendance. It's not. No one cares about the TV ratings and the attendance for the NFL, but fans are interested in those numbers, I think, psychologically, because they want to be invested, but they're concerned that it might go away. And that's why they just don't want to get hurt. And because they have. There you go. That's what I'm telling you. All right. We're going to wrap it up with our vlog at the DC Defenders. First, I want to thank Ken and Roy. They made the cut. They're in there. Appreciate meeting you guys and anybody who's come up to me and my wife during it's funny because everybody wants to meet my wife more than me. What's up with that? But it was great talking to both of you and the other fans that have come up throughout the season and even at last game. I appreciate it. We're just trying to put it out there and we are a marketing arm of the league, and that is our mission, is to put the league over, but also to give you the honest scoop and to make it fun. That's why we're doing the pool. So we're We'll close out with the vlog, and then we will make sure you like and subscribe. Leave us a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. And God bless. Enjoy the games, and we'll see you all later. What is up, my friends? And it is week 8 of the UFL season, and we're about to head out to Audi Field for the 4th home game of the UFL season in my backyard. Oh, wait. There's somebody looking at me. My dogs. You guys want to go out while I do this video? It's Calli and it's Finn. They'll go out one more time. They like to go outside. Anyway, we're about to head out to Audi Field for our 4th home game. This game is for the playoffs. If we win, then we eliminate Arlington, and but no matter what happens, we'll be playing a playoff game. My assumption is St. Louis. So I think at the end of the game, they're going to say that because, regardless of who wins the division, we'll have that game in St. Louis. I don't blame them, but we'll see what happens there. Beautiful day out. Also, being such a great husband that I am, this is also my wife and I's 7th year anniversary. Been married for 7 years, 10 years together, 6 kids. And what better way to enjoy your anniversary day than to go to a DC Defenders game? I could have just gotten her like a vacuum too. That would have been really great, just knocking it out of the park. But we're excited. Friends are coming to the game, and it's a beautiful day out. It's perfect for spring football, so we're excited. It's early. The game's at noon, so it's 9:30, and we're about to roll out. Because getting down to DC has not been easy the last couple times. So we got our parking spot ready to go. Going to meet some friends, hopefully hit Walters, and come and join us on this journey. Finn, are you going to watch the game while we're gone? Finny Finster, you going to watch the game? Hey, Calli, you going to watch the game today? You going to watch it? You going to treat it out? You're in for a treat watching the game? You in for a treat watching the game? Yeah? Okay. All right, made it to the game. I just want to thank my official sponsor for every time I go to the game to get hopped up. I drink Zoa. That is my thing, but don't drink it when you're stuck in traffic, because then you got to pee, and that's a problem, and that was a problem. But getting down here was easy. All good? You ready?
Yep.
Apparently it's bad driving in DC when you're trying to do your makeup. It's not a problem that I have,
So bumpy.
but she does. So we're going to head over to Walters. Perfect day to drive and get here to the stadium. No problems. Took us a different way than we normally go. So that was a little different, but got right in. We park at the hotel, and it's valet parking. And so we just show up and they take our keys. Had a good conversation with somebody there about business stuff, which is always good. And God is good. It's a Sunday. Are you excited about going to a DC Defenders game on your anniversary? To me, I was telling them it's just as good as me giving you a vacuum cleaner.
It's better than getting a vacuum cleaner, but not what we normally would do for our anniversary.
Yes. I would not say to you guys out there, if you think it's very romantic to do this with your wife, it's probably not, but my wife is extra special, so I'm lucky to do that. So,
We'll
I
do
owe her.
something a different day.
Yeah. So we better get a win, otherwise she's gonna get mad, and I'm gonna get in trouble. So let's go.
I'm wearing my red shoes, so.
I like them. I need to get a pair.
So, we have to win today.
Yeah. All right. So we're heading to Walters. Let's see what's going on there. It's the first time we've hit Walters all year. So what do you got? Hot dog? They had
Chicken and waffles.
chicken and waffles. You didn't get a waffle? There's a
I
veg.
did. It's underneath.
Oh, that's fun. And this was gluten-free, and then a hot dog. Pretty good. All right, how was the food
It was good.
compared to this is our 4th game?
Each one's been different. The food's always changes, but it's good.
Okay.
I liked it.
There you go. Almost part of the Clean Plate Club. And that goes along with it too.
Should be.
Oh! Oh! Oh!
As we celebrate UFL Pizza Party Weekend, don't miss your shot at free pizza and more. Scan the code now. Your slice of the action. Defenders fans, don't forget to vote for today's song of the game. Grab your phone, scan the QR code on the video board, and make your pick. DJ Jealousy will play the winning song at the end of the 3rd quarter.
It's just.
What a finish. What a game. Beautiful day out. Great crowd, 14,000 according to Mike Mitchell. There you go. There you go. So now we're gonna head to Solace Outpost, and because it's a beautiful day and it's 3:30, so let's go check it out.